Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend
Yes,
and
we are.
all geared up for some relaxation, rejuvenation, and inspiration tonight.
Yes, we are.
Okay. It's 1 minute past 6. So, shall we start or should we wait another 1 minute? Okay. I get it a go ahead from Illuminations to start. That's the one word they have written here, start. Hi, can I hear some highs either on chat or some highs on the mic?
Hi.
Oh, great.
Hi, Nav.
It's
Hi.
so beautiful to hear everybody's voice. Now I feel I'm not by myself here talking to the screen. Okay, great. So most of you actually know me and have gone through some of my sessions. In case you do not know me, let me just introduce myself. So I'm Navana, and I am the speaker and author of the book Emotional Mastery. And I'm a holistic therapist in 20 different modalities, and I have a doctorate on meditation, effects of meditation on human mind. So today we are going to be discussing a very important topic, which is self-love and self-acceptance. You know, any motivational video you see on YouTube, any self-help book that you read, and any therapist, coach, trainer, guru, teacher, wherever you go, they will always tell you one word, not one word, these two words: love yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. And the question comes, what do you truly mean by loving yourself? And I would like to start with this because just a few days back only, you know, I read this story about Mullah Nasiruddin, and I thought this story would be the perfect way to start this webinar on self-love. So Mullah Nasiruddin and his wife, they were sitting together, and Mullah tells his wife, darling, I think you should spend a few days in solitude with yourself. Wife answers, but Mullah, I would get so bored being alone. Mullah says, my dear, if you find yourself boring, then how can you be interesting for others? Now, I want to ask you guys, how many of you can relate to this story? How many of you know people around you who are like, just like Mullah Nasiruddin's wife, they cannot be alone by themselves. They're petrified, terrified with the idea of being with themselves. I mean, I had one client once, she called me and she said, you know what, Navana, I am in my mother's house. My husband called me and said that, you know what, just come back quickly. I cannot be by myself. Being by yourself is such a difficult idea for a lot of people. Now, I'm going to give you one exercise here. Very simple and it's fun to do. Think of a friend, or it can be multiple friends, more than one friend in number, either from your recent time or from your past. And somebody, this friend of yours, whom you love very, very dearly, who is very close to your heart. Now, when I say a friend does not mean your sibling or your parent or your children or your partner or your spouse or you have sexual relation with. It is this person or these people are somebody you share a very deep love, like a soul bonding, a heart to heart, you know, heart to heart connection. That's what I'm talking about here. Can you guys think of someone or more than one person? And if yes, now answer me, how many of you have included yourself in that friend. So this is what I call, self-love. Okay. The question comes before we even move forward with self-love. What do we mean by self-love? Let's define self-love. Anybody wants to throw in their idea of self-love or their concept of their definition of self-love? What comes to your mind when you say love yourself? I love myself. What does it mean to you? What is it for you? Somebody wants to type or say it loud. Just whatever comes to you. It doesn't have to be the perfect definition. There is no perfect definition. There is not one definition. Would love to be friend with your own self, Andrea. That's wonderful. Yes, that is part of self-love. It's a very important part of self-love. Any others? Come on, others. There has to be something. I try to treat and take care of myself as good as I treat my children. Beautiful. Accept myself in every condition. Accepting who you are and creating boundaries for yourself. At ease with yourself. Respect myself. Beautiful. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you guys. Thank you so much for the participation. Yes, everything you have said is correct. Whom look into the mirror, I found someone beautiful. Wow, that's very beautiful. They're all correct. They're all qualities of self-love, different aspects of self-love. When we say self-love, self-love is the unshakable, unrelentable belief in the worthiness of your own self. It is a matter of knowing, understanding, and honoring your value. Self-love is when you say, I love me, independent of you love me. Does that make sense? And I want you guys now to take that step, this small step, put your hands on your heart and close your eyes and say it, either loud or in your mind, but say it with confidence, say it with ease. I love me, independent of you love me. Say it again. I love me, independent of you love me. Say it with all the conviction in the world, with all the belief. I love me, independent of you love me. And how does it feel when you say this? You can open your eyes now. This is what we mean when we say self-love. Okay? In today's mad society, everybody's trying to love somebody. Don't you agree? Everybody's trying to find love, search for love, earn love, or seek love. Okay, that if I do this, he will love me. If I do that, she will love me. I have to search for love. I have to earn for love. It is understood that self-love is a basic human need because, since a child is born, it's an innate need of the child for love and attention. What does a child do when he takes his first breath? The first time he comes out, first he takes in a breath. The second thing he does is release that breath. And third thing he does is to cry aloud, demanding the attention, demanding for love, because love and connection is the innate need of a newborn. It is the basic human need. Okay, but let me tell you one thing here, and that's not a good news. That if you are searching for love, know this well, that love will not come to you if you do not love yourself. Okay, If you want that someone from outside to come in your life to love you, first of all, they must believe that you are worth loving. Okay, you can ask someone that, can you love me? Can you love me? Can you love me so that I have the belief in myself that I'm worthy of it? Can you love me so that I can know that I am lovable? But every time you do that, you are giving that power in someone else's hand. So if somebody tells you, he will be like, or she will be like, yeah, sure, of course, I can do that for you. I can tell you that I love you so that you have the belief that you are lovable. I can tell you that I love you so that you believe that you are worthwhile, you are worthy of the love. But if that person has the job to do that, remember one thing, if that person can give you that, that person has the power to take it away too. He can do that job for a few weeks, for a few months, even for a few years or some years. But when that person takes that away, stops saying that he or she loves you, then all that your false beliefs, they shatter into pieces. And then you feel let down, you feel disappointed, you feel devastated. Okay, so this is why self-love is the most vital, most crucial for growth, success, and fulfillment. You want any manifestation to occur in life, self-love is the foundational step. Self-acceptance comes when there is self-love. It is the most essential and fundamental part, guys, to cultivate the high self-esteem and massive self-confidence. You have to love yourself first. And it's a simple law of attraction. What does law of attraction said? That like energy attracts like energy, right? So when you are full of self-love, what happens next? Your love automatically, spontaneously, naturally, it overflows to the people around you. It overflows to your family, your friends, your work colleagues, and finally it overflows to the world, to the entire planet, as far as your energy field can reach. So when you are full of self-love, you are also exuding that aura, that energy of confidence, of joy, and you will attract those kind of energies and people who have the same zest for life. So it is a simple law of attraction here. Okay. So when we see today in relationships, why are people continuously fighting with each other, nagging each other, harassing each other? Because they are expecting to get something from the other. Remember the first time, take any relationship in your life, okay? Any current relationship or past relationship, take it as an example. And remember the first time you met this person, how beautiful, how nice the moments were. Gradually, as time passed by, things started getting more and more complicated. Why is that? Because in the initial moment, the first moment when you met that person, there were no expectations. As time went by, the expectations started growing. The more the expectations, the more there were letdowns and pain and disappointment and suffering. Because they're expecting to get something from the other. In self-love, when you love yourself, you are a giver. Okay, why you are a giver? How come you are a giver? Imagine if a cup is full of honey, it will overflow honey. If a cup is full of poison, what will it overflow? Poison. A cup full of poison cannot overflow honey. It does not make sense. Okay, so if you are filled with love, you will overflow love. In self-love, you are a giver of love. A giver is not a beggar. You cannot be in the giving mode and the begging mode at the same time. You can either give or you can beg, but it cannot happen two things, giving and begging at the same time. Now, as I have, gone through a lot of the clients that I have been doing this therapy work for the last 15 years, I've been doing coaching and therapy. And one thing that I've studied in most of the people, including my own self, that the underlying issue that comes down to almost all of our problems is that we feel that we are not enough. Either we feel we are not lovable enough, we are not smart enough, we are not attractive enough, we are not successful enough, or even we are not interesting enough. Can you relate to that? Can you perhaps recall a moment, any incident in life where you felt one of these, that you felt that I'm not lovable enough, or I'm not beautiful enough, or I'm not intelligent enough, or I'm not successful enough? We have all gone through one or the other moment or an incident in life that we can relate to this. Now, what happens when we don't feel enough? When we don't feel enough, we try to change things externally from outside. Okay? We don't feel we are beautiful enough, so we put on, we put on from outside more injections, more fillers, more makeup. We feel that we are not intelligent enough or successful enough. Then we go from one project to the other project to the other project in the search of that perfection so that we get that acknowledgement and validation from others. But what we need to do, that we must change internally, not externally, because loving yourself is an inside job. It's not an outside job. Now, after talking so much on self-love, loving yourself, and I'm not talking so much about self-acceptance, because self-acceptance naturally comes when self-love is there. Now, you might ask now, Navana, I think I love myself. How do I measure? Where do I stand in self-love? What are the metrics for it? So I want to, do this little PowerPoint over here. Let me just see if I can share it. And if everybody has a paper and pen, it would be fantastic. Okay. Can everybody see the PowerPoint over here? Yeah. Can then somebody say a yes to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So these are a couple of questions. I cannot go through the entire, I have this thing in my full-on course, but it will still give you an idea. Where do you stand? So first of all, I want you to take a range between 1 to 10, 10 being the strongest and 1 being the lowest. And be very honest with yourself. Do you often put yourself lesser or of less priority than others? Do you often put other people first? Especially to give you an example, a lot of times the ladies do it at home, that I will eat only after everybody else in the family has eaten. Even if I'm hungry, I'm going to wait until my husband comes, my children comes, all the family is there, they have finished everything, and then only I'll sit down to eat. Do you often put other people first? Second question. Do you seek approval and validation from others? If you have a gut feeling about something, is that gut feeling, that intuition enough for you? Is your inner voice enough for you? We all have an inner voice that tells us, whispers in us that do this, don't do that. This doesn't feel right. This person feels right. Go ahead. Do not go ahead. Pause. Do you trust that inner voice, that intuition, or do you go out and ask others for approval and validation that what you are feeling, your intuition is between 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself? Shame, and guilt yourself. Which means that how many times do you use that statement to yourself? Oh, I am so stupid. Oh, I am just so not smart. I wish I had done this. This is so foolish of me. I'm such an idiot. Do you use such statements? Between 1 to 10. Rate yourself. How often do you use such statements? Do you want to say no, but you say yes? So many of us. Just to maintain peace with others. Just to be a people pleaser. Lot of times, even when we want to say no because we know that it is not good for us, or it is not going to be comfortable for us, that we will have to compromise our own standards, but we still go ahead and say yes, just to pacify the other person, just to maintain peace. I can relate to this a lot, especially during my years of marriage. Just to maintain peace at home, I would say yes to every no that I wanted to say. I had to learn the hard way. Do you desperately want love, but you don't give it to yourself? Be very honest with yourself, guys. What I mean here is how much self-care you are doing. Remember when I said self-care? Yes, it is a quality of self-love. Are you giving enough time for yourself? Are you giving enough time to maintain your physical body, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health? Are you always trying to prove yourself, to compensate that you are not enough? Even when you do a good job, you immediately move on to another project, as if you are in a rush to prove your worthiness to others. This also means for some people who are perfectionist in nature, that they are never happy, they are never fulfilled with what they are doing. And they're always achieving, striving to achieve that impossible, that perfection, that they never pause in life. They're continuous, they're running a marathon in life. Okay, and then they feel burned out. In my entire years of corporate life, in my early 20s, I could relate myself to one of these people. Do you feel you don't deserve the good? Now you're going to tell me, Navana, of course, consciously we never say that, hey, I don't deserve the good. We always say that I deserve the good, but we are not talking about the conscious mind here, which is only 3% of the brain. We are talking about the 97% of the brain, which is your unconscious mind. That is running in an autopilot. Do you feel you don't deserve the good? Meaning that when opportunities come your way, when good chances come your way, you tend to procrastinate. Instead of jumping on the opportunity, you doubt, you fear, you have anxiety. What if this works out? What if this does not work out? What happens in the future? You procrastinate. You push it away for, I'll deal with it tomorrow. That's lack of self-love. Are you not taking your dreams, wishes, aspirations seriously? I think, guys, this is one of the most important questions of self-love. There are many people I have met in my life who pushes their true dreams and wishes and aspirations later in life. They're like, for now, I'm going to compromise my life. I'm going to compromise my work, my job. I have to, because I have to support my children, I have to support my husband, I have to support my family. And my dreams and my wishes and my aspirations can stay under the rug. And I'll take care of it one day when everything is perfect, everyone is happy. Guys, I have bad news. That day will never come. Everybody's happiness does not depend on you. That perfect one day, if you're going to wait for, it will never come. So are you not taking your dreams and wishes and aspirations seriously? If you want to do something, you have to start doing it today, because nobody can guarantee what happens tomorrow. Nobody can even guarantee the next breath if you're going to take it in or not. So you have to live every day as if it is your last day. So be very honest and rate yourself between 1 to 10 on this point. Are you putting up with people you know are not good for you? Examine if in the current time or in the past time you have been in relationships that were harmful for you, that were abusive for you, and knowing it also, you were not getting out of that relationship. And trust me, I meet such people almost every day. Probably 2 out of 4 clients who come to me have this issue. That even though they know that the pattern is not healthy for them, it is not good for them, it is not going to take them to any place better in life, which is meant for their highest good, still they are unable to break that pattern and come out of it. Do you give more than you receive in relationships? I know a lot of you can relate to that. There are some people who just keep on giving in life. And they suffer so much within themselves. There is so much of inner pain that they hold within themselves. And they hold it silently. They carry that baggage silently. Until one day they get burnt out. And then it is too late. Giving and receiving makes a cycle complete. Giving and receiving must be in balance and in harmony. That is how nature has intended to be. Okay. Voice is cutting off. It's okay. We are good. Okay, great. So nobody has to read results of it. You all have sort of a report card in front of you, and you all know, más o menos, approximately, where you stand in self-love. Yeah? So now that you have the mirror to yourself, you might ask me, so Navana, now we know where we stand. What next? What do we do now? From here, how do we move forward? So since we have limited time, I cannot go through, I wish I could give you, I would love to give you all that I have, but I will go through a few points that I'm sure if you follow them, if you adopt them in your lifestyle, it will bring a massive change in your self-love and self-acceptance. First, understand one thing. The deeper your roots are, the more you will grow, the more easier it will be for you in self-love and self-acceptance. Okay. Let me give you an example so that you understand it much easily. In Japan, they have this technology where they have trees that are 400 years old, but they're only 6 inches tall. So imagine 400 years old tree, only 6 inches tall. So what do they do? Basically, what they do is that they plant this tree in an open pot, which means the pot underneath is open, and every time the root grows, they cut the root. So what happens? Every time they cut the root, they don't allow the root to grow. So they don't allow the plant to become a tree, to grow into a tree and flourish. Okay, so this exactly goes with self-love as well. If you have roots that go deep down within your inner being, your core being, from where this nectar of love comes on the surface, it will blossom in thousands of flowers. Okay, it's like the deeper you dig, the more of the self-love will gush out. The more you live in the surface, the more you will be giving the remote control of your emotions in other people's hands. The more you are in the center, the more silent, the more stable, the more centered and collected and calm you will be. And that is where is that ocean of self-love. You see, like when you see a wheel spinning, you see on the outside of the wheel, the periphery, there is lot of commotion and motion. The more you go towards the center, the central point is absolutely still. And that is where our destination is. The more we come towards the center, the more it will be easier and spontaneous and natural for me to access that unlimited abundance of love. Okay. And you see, when people meet together and they are full of self-love, like for example, two kings, you imagine, visualize two king of hearts, they meet together. The king have everything. They have all the abundance in the world. They have nothing to beg, to ask for from the other one. When such two kings come together, meet together, there is tremendous joy and harmony and understanding in that relationship. They're both king of hearts, full of self-love. So the love overflows and mingle with each other. And it gives so much of joy and bliss in that relationship. It is not anymore a transactional relationship. Now, moving on to tip number 2, okay? Don't say yes when you want to say no. This is a question that you just completed in the questionnaire as well. Be upfront and honest with your own self and with others. Honesty is a rare commodity these days, right? But you have to be upfront and honest, at least with your own self to begin with. Because end of the day, when you go to bed at night, you are by yourself, you face your own conscience. And none of your thoughts, none of your actions has an expiry date when you are in front of your conscience. In today's time, we are so obsessed with nicehood. Okay, we always want to appear nice, and it's a conditioning that we have been taught since our childhood. I mean, coming from a certain cultural background, since my childhood, I was always taught, be a nice girl. What does it mean to be a nice girl? Being a nice girl for me was to be obedient and subservient and not to ask questions and to act dim and dumb compared to men. We are so obsessed with this idea of nicehood. You don't need to give 1,000 justifications of why you are saying no. If you want to say no, be upfront about it, be honest with it, with your own self and with others. Okay? Taking the next step, I think that's tip number 3 that I'm coming to. Make self-care the highest priority for you in life. Now, in school, in childhood, we are, throughout our life actually, we are not taught to take care of ourselves. We are not taught to love ourselves. Make an intentional, conscious effort to look out for your needs and wants. If you run a business, nobody can run that business better than you do. If you're going to run, your life, nobody can run your life better than you do. So do not neglect yourself. Take care of yourself. And when I say take care of yourself, it is taking care of yourself from the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Okay. There is this one very old Indian saying that goes, there are 4 rooms in your life: the physical room, the mind room, the emotional room, and the spiritual room. And on a daily basis, one should open the doors and windows and air each one of the rooms. Ask yourself now, which room you have left closed? Which room has become dusty? From now on, you need to open and air and bring in the sunshine in each and every room of your life. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. That is what the true self-care means. In the physical level, in the mental level, if you have done my any of my courses, or when you get my book of emotional mastery, I have talked a lot about energy diet. Every food that you eat have a certain quality, have a certain attribute, because food has their own vibration. Every food, nature has put a higher intelligence in every food. So when you eat that food, you imbibe those qualities, those vibrations within your energy body and your physical body. For example, just to give, simple thing, I can't go into details into it right now. Having a banana, we all have bananas for breakfast, for example. Bananas give you the quality of humility. Cherries give you the quality of cheerfulness. Papaya can shift any dark emotion into light emotion. Anytime you have a resistance to change, papaya helps you to shake off resistance to change. And especially in current times, now that we are going through a lot of shift and changes, I have been telling everybody, including papaya in your diet. So that's physical level, mental level, self-talk. Be very aware and mindful of your self-talk. The vocabulary that you are using for your own self. Be aware of that. Emotional level. You do not need permission to express your emotions. Do not deny or suppress or ignore or put your emotions under the rug. Because if you do, they will come up later in a much, much intense force, either through your physical body in form of a disease or a discomfort, or in a emotional way in terms of anger or rage. So express your emotions healthily. Spiritual level, meditate, pray, connect to that higher intelligence. After all, a divine intelligence, a higher intelligence is always in action. If we were the doer, if we were planning everything in life, then everything we were planning would be happening. But that's not how life goes, right? Because there is a higher plan that is in action. A divine plan is action. So connect to that higher intelligence who has put you here on this planet Earth, who is taking care of your breath. You don't have to be aware, oh, I have to remember that I have to take the next breath. It is happening. A divine intelligence, a higher intelligence within you is taking care of that process for you. Do what truly fulfills you. Do what you love and love what you do. Okay, self-love is not about perfection and compatibility with yourself. It is about understanding and harmony with yourself. For example, if you have a best friend, with your best friend, do you look out for perfection and compatibility, or do you look out for understanding and harmony? So that's what self-love is about. Developing that inner friendship with yourself, to be at ease in your own presence. You know, we never learn. We never learn how to be our own friend, how to be on our own, to sit in solitude at a dinner, to go alone on a holiday or be in a beach. Being alone is as if something is wrong with us. I live by myself, and so many times, trust me, during this self-isolation time, people have been asking me, oh, you are by yourself. Oh my God, like, how are you handling it? It must be so difficult. I'm like, why should it be difficult? I love being by myself. I love being with myself. Now, our society does not encourage us to be alone. You have to believe that you are your most worthy and your most valuable companion. Okay, the most valuable friend, the most loyal companion you have lifelong is no one but you. You have to stay with yourself throughout your life, so why not make yourself your own best friend? We don't think we need to talk to ourselves, which is why anytime we have time free, we are looking for others to talk to. But if we want to cultivate self-love, we have to and we must nurture, nourish, grow, and blossom this relationship with our own self. Honor your own self, befriend your own self first before you make friends with someone from outside. You know, I see people around me a lot who complain about loneliness and boredom. I hear these statements a lot that, oh, I am so bored. I don't know what to do. I am so lonely. I need somebody in my life. Look, loneliness comes from that unconscious belief that who we truly are on our own is boring, not good enough. So we are always looking outside from someone else's company. Look forward to your own company every day. Look forward to that moment after all day's work, that tonight, these 10 minutes, I am going to sit with myself, talk to myself. I will be by myself. And if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, then you need to rethink your life. Okay. And those of you who are into meditation, please know and understand, if you do not have self-love, you can never be a good meditator. Because what is meditation? Meditation is about being in your aloneness and celebrating your true self. Meditation is where you allow yourself to have, to bathe in your own glory, in your own light. So if you don't have self-love or self-acceptance, you cannot progress in meditation. Next point, self-criticism. Some of you actually WhatsApped me before that how to get over self-criticism. You know, I want to mention here, there is a famous, very important quote from Dr. John DeMartini, which I love it, and I'm going to share it with you. And he says, I define depression as a comparison of your current reality to a fantasy about how you wish your life would be. Okay? Many times in self-criticism that you are not doing enough, you are not good enough, you are not beautiful enough, you are not smart enough, you are not even interesting enough. It's not even your own voice. It is perhaps your teacher's voice from your childhood, your aunt's voice, your neighbor's voice, your parents' voice, your partner's voice. It is not even your own voice. You have to figure out what makes you happy on your terms. Okay, we all have an inner critic within us. Turn that inner critic into inner coach. Of course, there will be times you will screw up in life. You will take a bad decision. But hey, that's okay. Next time, you will learn to make a better decision. So evaluate yourself, but don't beat yourself up for a mistake you have done. Learn from your mistake and make a better choice next time. We are all flawed. I am flawed, you are flawed, everybody is flawed. We live in a flawed world and we have flawed relationships with other flawed people. And that's the beauty of relationship that we have with each other. So develop compassion and kindness and gentleness towards your own self in spite of your flaws. The last point I will mention is asking versus wishing. Examine what you ask versus what you wish. There are some people who wish they can do better, and some people they ask to do better. So be very clear, you know, in what you ask out of life, what you ask out of your relationships, what you ask out of yourself. Don't just wish, ask, and it shall be given. Okay, so I'm not gonna go, unfortunately, into more details on the points of it because we will be finishing the time. But to finish up, how do you know that the self-love is working? You might ask me that, Navana, how do I know that I am actually progressing in my journey? Okay, it's like when you go to a gym, the first day you go to the gym, you come back home, you look at yourself in the mirror. Do you see any change? No, you don't. Next day, again, you go to the gym, you work out, you lift weights, you come back home, you look at yourself in the mirror. Do you see any change? No. Does that mean progress is not happening? You stop going to the gym? On a day-to-day basis, we may not see the progress. But when you look at yourself from where you were last year or even a few months back to where you are now, you see the change in the graph. There will be times when you will be challenged at your core. Things will not go your way. Either you will not get the promotion in the job you are looking for, or the money you have invested will not work out, or the people you trusted will let you down, or you will lose somebody that you thought would be a forever relationship. But in spite of that, you will know through the response of through your mind and emotions that life has become more expansive than before. The more you grow, the more you see what is possible. Now, you have come a long way. How far you are willing to take it from here is your decision. Knowledge is power, but it is not enough. We always say knowledge is power, but is it enough? No, because today you can either go back with some new information that you have learned here on this webinar and carry on with your life as always as before. It does you no good because it is easy to know what you should do and still not do it. Or you have the choice to adopt self-love and self-acceptance in life. It's all about deep practice. Practice, practice, practice until it runs through your veins and be one with your heartbeat. And you know how that impact would be? It will be of immeasurable value, not just for yourself, but also for the people the lives of the people around you, your family, friends that you care about. And I will say it. This is one of my lines from my conclusion chapter in Emotional Mastery book. That self-love, self-acceptance, you can call it as a passion or purpose, but I call it meaning. Because when you call it meaning, it helps you to grow in leaps and bounds. A life without meaning is a life without any worth. Okay, so I see we have a little bit of time. So I want you to, okay, there is somebody who has written, I tend to fall back. I tend to fall back. Yes, it can happen. It will happen many times. But the more you practice, practice makes you perfect. Okay. What will happen in the beginning, probably in the first 1 week, you will be falling back 20 times. As you keep practicing, you will see in 1 month, you are not falling back 20 times, but now you are falling back 10 times, that you are falling back only 2 times. Until a time comes when it becomes like a second skin to you. It becomes your underlying nature. It becomes like an autopilot. So you have to keep practicing. You have to keep doing. Okay. And you also have to see, you have to dig deep. You were doing for great month for 4 months and then I'm back. Okay, you have to dig deep into this. Okay, and you have to see if there is any particular unconscious root cause that is blocking your self-love process. Okay. What is the process for digging? Unfortunately, I do not have a lot of time to explain it. It can come in a full day course. Or if any of you guys are taking my emotional mastery book, I have given the entire process for digging, which you can do at your home by yourself and get the results. Okay. Now, we still have a little bit of time, so I just wanted to do a little process, experiential process with everybody. Is everybody up for it? So we go through it now. We start. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Relaxing energy of the universe. And with every exhalation, you are exhaling all the stress and tension stored in you. You are beginning to feel very comfortable, very relaxed, very safe. Feel that relaxation in your feet, moving up your lower legs. Your knees are completely filled with relaxation. Allow the relaxation to move up your thighs and gently into your hips. Feel the relaxation in your entire abdomen. Relaxing all abdomen. Feel the relaxation in your lower back, moving up to your mid back, moving up to your upper back. Allow the relaxation to gently flow into your chest. Feel your shoulders relaxed and loose. If there is any tension, just drop it now. Feel the relaxation in your upper arms, lower arms, hands, fingers. Your neck muscles completely relaxed and free. Allow the relaxation to spread around your jaws. Feel the relaxation in every muscle of your face, your nose, your ears, around your eyes, going heavy with relaxation. Feel relaxation on your forehead, moving up to the top of your head. As I pause for a few moments, allow yourself to relax even deeper. As I count from 3 down to 1, allow yourself to drift into a deeper relaxation. 3, 100 times more deeper. Every muscle in your body is in deep relaxation. 2, 1,000 times more deeper. Any outside noise will help you to relax even deeper. Every nerve, every tissue in your body is in deep relaxation. And 1, very deep now. Allow yourself to be at peace, deeply relaxed and at peace. Bring your focus to your breath. The natural rhythm of your breath. The power that created you has given you abundance of breath to last you as long as you shall live. Each time you breathe out, you do not doubt your next breath. You assume that the next breath will be there for you. You have faith and trust on your breath. Extend that faith and trust to every area of healing in your life. As your breath goes in and goes out, notice you do not need to earn your breath. There is a higher intelligence within you that breathes your body for you. This intelligence is part of the oneness, the creative force of the universe. You are not lost or lonely or forgotten or rejected. You are not good enough. You are one with the power that created you. And this power has given you the power to create your own experiences, your own emotions, your own thoughts. Every thought, every emotion you choose now creates your future. We now choose to use this power of divine intelligence. Repeat to yourself, I accept myself as lovable. I see myself as lovable. I give love to others easily. I accept love coming my way easily. I am nourished and filled with beautiful love that surrounds me at all times. Believe yourself as lovable. Accept yourself as lovable. See yourself as lovable. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you breathe, begin to sway gently from side to side. And as you sway, you are releasing, erasing any old belief that is not true, that does not serve you no purpose. Because what is true is that love is your birthright. You are lovable. You always have been and you always will. You may feel that one or both parents did not love you when you were a child. Remember, it is the universe that gave you life. You came through your parents. Your parents were medium only. But the universe put you here on this planet. And the universe supports you continuously as you recognize in you that love that you truly are. As you breathe in the love of the universe. And as you breathe out the love to the universe. Breathe in love. Take it all in, hold it, and then release it. Because giving and receiving makes the perfect cycle. The cycle of harmony. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you receive, the more you give. Nature requires that balance. Understand that you are nourished and filled by glorious love that is all around you. The first thing you did when you were born is to take a breath. The first breath, take one now. The second thing you did was to give that breath away. So do that now. Breathe out. The third thing you did was to seek attention. You had that unshakable deep knowing that you were worth it. A baby demands attention and feeding. The mind says that I am worth of love. You may have forgotten, but right now it is coming back to life, coming back in momentum, the truth. You are love. You are lovable. You are worth it. Repeat to yourself, I accept myself as lovable. I believe myself as lovable. I see myself as lovable. I give love easily. I attract love easily. There is only one thing that you need to attract love, and that is to know that you are worthy. Love is a feeling. It's an experience. Love is what makes the world go around. Love is not about your past. Love is not about your age, your weight. Love is not about your childhood or your finances. You don't have to chase love or buy love. Love is the guiding force of nature. You don't need to find love or go to love or search for love because it is in you. Loving yourself is the greatest love of all. The deepest, the richest, the longest love affair you have is with your own self. It is not with your children because you were here before they came. It is not with your partner because you were here before they came. Fall in love with yourself right at this moment and say, I love myself deeply. I love myself unconditionally. And there you are. As you love yourself, this is the beginning of a lifelong love affair that never ends, never disappoints, never lets you down, never leaves. Smile at yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your smile. Fall in love with your flaws. We are all flawed people having flawed relationships with other flawed people. Yet, we can have the beautiful, flawed relationship loving each other. Just know you are worth it. You don't need any proof that you deserve love. Love is about respecting yourself, admiring yourself, honoring yourself. Just like a shining sun, you have the natural magnetic ability to draw in love. Breathe in and breathe out like a sun, drawing in love and giving out the warmth of your love to everyone around you. It is all around you. The energy of love moving towards you and to stay with you for the rest of your life, because you are so lovable and it is your birthright. Now, as I count from 1 to 5, slowly come back to here and now, to the present moment. 1, feeling completely relaxed, rejuvenated, and inspired. 2, bringing back all the positive memories and positive energies from this beautiful meditative journey. 3, feeling mentally alert, agile, emotionally full of joy, calm, and physically rejuvenated and relaxed. 4 and 5. Whenever you are ready, slowly start moving your hands, open your eyes, and welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Somebody has requested the original definition of self-love. So if you want to write it down again, it is unshakable, unrelentable belief in the worthiness of your own self. It's a matter of knowing, understanding, and honoring your value. Okay, I call it as to say, I love me, independent of you love me. Thank you, everybody. It's very inspiring to see the messages, your comments. Thank you for your active participation. If we are doing any workshop on self-love, I shall definitely put it forward to Illuminations, and we can see, we can organize something. Is there anything that anybody else wants to ask? Anything? What is the process of digging? Somebody has asked. Who has asked this? Oh, Lauren. Okay, Lauren. The process of digging, one is definitely self-reflection, self-contemplation, and third is meditation. Okay, awareness, self-reflection, self-contemplation. You know, the end of the day, you go through your entire day. Take a few moments when you sit down with yourself for 10 minutes and go through your entire day. And like a movie, as if you're a third person watching the movie, and you see your emotional reactions and responses and actions to your experiences throughout the day, and evaluate yourself on that and see where did it come from. Let's say, for example, somebody said something that acted as a trigger for you, and you immediately, before you could control yourself, you reacted in anger. So dig from there. Where is this anger coming from? Why did I get angry? Is this the first time that I got angry? Or I felt this way another time before it. And go back. This way you will go back to the root cause. As I said, this process I have actually written in the Emotional Mastery book with all the steps. So if you follow it step by step, it will be very easy. You can by yourself. And meditation because the more you meditate, you will come to your point of centeredness, and things will open up for you. You might say, on a busy schedule, on a day-to-day basis, when I'm overwhelmed with work, or I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling ill physically, how do I meditate with so much duties and responsibilities to take care of? But even if it is for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you sit down for meditation, each time you create a space that supports you in your emotional journey and your spiritual journey. Thank you, Asha. Thank you, everybody. So stay connected. I think 17th, there will be meditation on healing your inner child. So no matter how old we are, we all have a child within. And a lot of time, this child is sitting on a driver's seat of life and taking decisions for us, because 1 to 7 years of our age, whatever we go through, we absorb like a sponge, affects 80% of adult life thoughts as per inner child therapy. So actually, Lauren, digging deep, a lot of deep stuff comes out in inner child therapy. And somebody else has also written that after 4 months, I tend to fall back in my old habits. So it might be a very strong chance that you have an inner child issue. So yes, inner child will be a very important gateway to dig up what is, being buried deep down and acting as a big energetic block. So if you can, please join it. Stay connected on Facebook. You will find me on Facebook as Dr. Navana Kundu, and also on Instagram, I'm there as Navana Kundu. So stay connected with me, and I'll see you guys soon again. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks, Nav. Bye.
Bye.